Facebook, on YouTube, on the platform formerly known as Twitter, and the hashtag is in the know. Coming up today, we'll update you on the latest news headlines from around the community, the county, the Commonwealth, and the country. Third Region basketball begins tonight. That and a whole lot more coming up today here on In the Know. Settling into my left, rolling Mach 9 with her hair on fire, is my beautiful wife, the beautiful girl. It's Beach. Good morning, sweetheart.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm trying to get settled over here.
You have been, you've been in your garden once already this year.
I have.
You did some clean out last weekend.
did.
A little too cold this past weekend, but you've been making overtures about getting your tiller fired up.
Yes.
A new study from the University of Edinburgh has linked gardening with improved thinking skills as we age. Engaging in gardening projects, learning about plants, and general garden upkeep involves complex cognitive processes such as memory and executive function, consistent with the use it or use it framework of cognitive function. More engagement in gardening may be directly associated with a lower risk of cognitive decline.
I like that. I map mine out, so I don't know if I didn't map mine out, I would forget
Okay,
what
what's
I
there?
put where. And you need to know what plants like each other and that kind of thing. So
The benefits of that is, well, we get produce to eat if you go have enough produce to sell, and
Which
then we save a bunch of money on Prevagen.
yeah,
Right, because
well,
you don't
yes.
maybe you don't need Prevagen if
Yeah.
you do a lot of gardening.
Yes.
He is the 5-time winner of the coveted Ohio News Hawk Award. He's the 2-time Silver Sound nominee, covering every corner of the globe: London, Budapest, Rio, Tokyo, and even Litchfield. He's Sam Gormley and the sports. Morning, Sam.
Morning, Ralph.
How you doing?
Oh, I'm here. How about you?
I'm here. It's Monday, but I'm going to overlook it. Just try and be agreeable today. I'm not going to lock horns with Monday. Just going to kind of lean into it a little bit. You have I guess you potentially can have 3 basketball games this week where you had 4 last
Well,
week.
we could have 4.
There still could be 4. I wasn't sure when the boys semifinals
Saturday.
are. The boys semifinals are Saturday, so you could still get 4 crammed over
Well,
6 days.
technically 5 because, I mean, I don't want to say anything bad about the Lady Cougars, but if the Lady Cougars would make the region championship, they would play on Sunday.
Okay, so the girls' championship is on Sunday. All right.
Correct.
I wasn't
So
sure how
I
they were doing
I mean, it would be an upset if the Lady Cougars could make it that far, but hey, this time of year, if the shoe fits, right?
It is also a little bit odd for those of you that don't follow closely. Typically, the 2 tournaments, the 2 state tournaments, are in adjacent weeks. But this year, there's a donut hole between the 2 weeks. There's the girls' Sweet 16 at Rupp, and then the first round of the NCAA tournament is at Rupp, and then the boys' Sweet 16. So it's 3 weeks of basketball, and so it's odd. I don't know if they've done that before. Previously, when UK has hosted a regional, they've moved the girls' Sweet 16 around. They've gone to Western, they've gone to Northern. By the way, I saw it was, I think, 8 years ago over the weekend, the Lady Cougars were in NKU in the Sweet 16. I think my memories reminded me. Would that be right? 8-9 years? Something
No,
like
it's
that?
it's 8 because I don't know. I think I've brought it up with you, and we've brought it up at least once on air that there's the 8-year trend for Grayson County to win region titles. Is 93, 8 years later 01, 8 years later was 09, and 8 years later was 17, and 8 years later is
25.
it is.
All right, looking forward to it. I do want to, it was an exciting Friday night, so we want to spend a little time on that as we get deeper into the segment. But first, sunny and warmer for your Monday. Going to see heavy rain and strong winds tomorrow into Wednesday. For tomorrow night, heavy rain, a few strong storms. For Wednesday, all-day wind gusts exceeding or reaching 40 miles per hour, so just be prepared. Mostly sunny, 56 today, increasing clouds, 41 tonight. And then tomorrow we will see 90% rain chance and a high of 66, so the temperature not too bad. But after that rain comes through, it's going to make for a colder Wednesday. We'll see 46 as your high Wednesday, 47 as your high on Thursday, and then rebounding a little bit on Friday with highs into the 50s. This is Read Across America week, and you're going to end your week in Clarkson, right?
Well,
Clarkson City has signed a proclamation But you'll be at the school Friday?
I will. I
Yeah.
will be, yes, actually during this hour, I will be reading The Thing That Lou Could Not Do.
The thing that Lou could not do.
That is correct.
Okay, all right, that sounds fun.
Yeah, it's a good book.
You have a tendency to overdo it. You take wagons and you take all kinds of
Yes.
visual aids. Are you scaling it
I-
down, or?
That is on my list of things to do today. This sometimes the books don't always offer me an easy go-to. Like I've taken in mangoes before. We've planted things before.
We played with water the one year I went. I remember. I think we made a little bit of a mess that day.
Well, I'm typically messy. I haven't decided. So
To be determined.
Yes, I will let you know. But
Well, that-
yes, and today is you're supposed to wear attire that has words on
Okay.
it. So I chose my corner.
Ah, I see.
Nobody puts baby
where
in a
nobody,
corner.
Where nobody puts baby. Corner. That's the def. Is that? I didn't realize they had changed the technical definition of that, but
I
it
thought
makes
you'd like that.
it makes perfect sense. On Friday, the world watched as the Volodymyr Zelensky from Ukraine, and President Trump and some others from cabinet locked horns about 90 seconds into a Oval Office meeting that the cameras of the world were pointed at. And so that's caused, a lot of the talk. I have a tendency to think that if you not particularly fond of the president, you probably were lining up with Zelensky on that. And I tell you, when I saw, when I just saw the rough cut edit that the big three wanted you to see, like if you see ABC, CBS, NBC, the cut they show you, while accurate, I'm not sure. Well, come to find out, it doesn't tell the entire story. But I will say when I first saw the edit that was condensed down into the national news, I thought, why are we roughing up this guy in the Oval Office? And because it was almost a 2-on-1, it was our vice president and our president, and they were reacting to something that had happened previously. That if you will allow yourself the time to go back and watch the entire episode, and then you give yourself the knowledge of who Zelensky was meeting with before he went to the White House, it gives a little better context of why tensions were higher. But the end of the meeting was basically, okay, where do we go from here? I am not one of those, let's cut Ukraine off and just let them fend for themselves. But I am also one of those people that says we got to put an end to this because the spigot can't be turned on forever. I mean, we're $120 billion in. We're not really any American lives in yet, and so let's keep it that way. Let's find a way out of this. So I think that the two parties will get back together, but it certainly made the world talk, and Volodymyr Zelensky ended up in Europe yesterday, surrounded by a bunch of the European leaders. It's going to be hard for them to get a lot accomplished without America's help, but they may try and give a go at it. So we'll see what happens in the coming days. But Saturday Night Live and others had a whole lot of fun with that story over the weekend. The Pentagon is sending about 3,000 more active duty troops to the U.S.-Mexico border to try and slow down illegal immigration, which they've made a big dent in, but we still got some pores in our border that people are flowing in. Death investigation underway in Falls of Rough. The state police and the Grayson County Coroner's Office conducting a death investigation at a home in the 9900 block of Falls of Rough Road between Blaine Cannon Road and Junction Road. The investigation began Friday afternoon. The sheriff's office was dispatched after a 52-year-old woman was found deceased by a family member. The family member went to the residence after not being able to contact the decedent. The body was transported to the ME's office in Louisville by the coroner's office, and an autopsy was completed Saturday morning, and we will have more information when it's made available to us. We will make it available to you if circumstances warrant. An investigation is underway in Taylor County after a man was found deceased near a burned vehicle. State police said investigators responded Friday afternoon about just before 1 o'clock to Gaddis Ridge Road, about 10 miles east of Campbellsville, to the report of a deceased male. The state police investigators found a vehicle was found burnt and a deceased male located outside of the vehicle transported to the ME's office in Louisville. Additionally, legislation that would ban some foreign entities from purchasing agricultural land in Kentucky was approved by the House on Friday. It's House Bill 315, sponsored by Representative Scott Sharp from Ashland, who described its provisions to his colleagues on the House floor. It would prevent hostile nations to the United States from acquiring agricultural land in our Commonwealth and also around our military installations. This is a bill that passed on the House floor last year, sponsored by former Representative Heath. And apparently there was a paragraph was taken out to strengthen the bill. That's the alteration made from the bill that Richard Heath had filed. Representative Chad All from Lexington noted that the Kentucky Bankers Association testified in committee that they had concerns about the bill and asked Sharp if he had spoken with them regarding those concerns. He said they had sent me a text with changes they would like to have to the bill, but I did not get a chance to get an amendment done in time. That's going to happen in the Senate. It passed 93-0 in the House and now heads over to the Senate. So this is a problem occurring across our country. You're finding, I think, especially China, and they don't have an exact. Their economic construct is just not the same as ours. Let's put it that way. We've kind of learned that from TikTok, that if the Chinese government decides they own part of your business, well, then they just decide they own part of your business. And so you've seen some capitalists from China and other hostile nations to the United States that are going in and buying key agricultural land in areas that maybe aren't immediately adjacent to some of our military installations, but are near enough by that they could be problematic, and in some cases are adjacent to. And so you're finding our legislatures across the country and the federal Congress also trying to make sure that we're protected in that regard. Sometimes it's the tantamount to closing the barn door after the horse is out, but at least they are addressing it. Friday night was a big night for Grayson County High School as a big Cougar contingent made the road trip down Highway 54 to Whitesville, and the Cougars were victorious in winning the 12th District Championship on a celebratory night. Sam, I was able to enjoy coverage on Friday, and I got the sensation you had a good time.
We all did. I mean, it was a great atmosphere. It was a lot of fun. And yeah, I mean, anytime that the Cougars can win a district championship too, it's a good thing. And we enjoyed too the post game celebration. And yeah, I mean, they picked up a big win. They got out to a big lead against Butler County, and Butler could never really come back into it. It was never really in doubt. You know, Jack Logston had a huge first quarter and then a huge fourth quarter to kind of clinch the game up for Grayson County. But Brody Armstrong had a big day, and I mean, there were just so many milestones in it. You know, district championship. You know, Mr. Spirit was there. You had Spencer Langdon scoring his 1,000th point. So now Grayson County has two 1,000-point scorers on one team. So it continues to add up of what was a really exciting night in Whitesville.
You mentioned when you were talking with multiple members of the coaching staff, you know, they pointed out, they shared at halftime that a team like Butler County isn't going to go away without mounting some type of a run. And they did a mini run, if you will, at the end of the third and the start of the fourth quarter. And I thought it was very, Jack Logston in your interview with him pointed out exactly what I saw, and I know you saw. Butler County was the beneficiary of several offensive rebounds late in the third quarter and early in the fourth. Were able to pull it close, and there for a moment, I think the nail biting was about to start. But as you say, Jack kind of took over and shut the door on them as they went down the stretch.
Yeah, it was great, and I didn't know Jack was coming to talk to us. Hey, Stephen, so where we are at Whitesville is we're in the on the baseline, so we're kind of looking at the celebration. No, we mentioned that a couple of times. It was actually pretty cool for us just to be able to have a high outlook on just watching everything going on. But I noticed a couple times Stephen kept pointing at somebody and saying, "Come up," and I thought he was trying to bring Brett up. Because he ended up coming up, but
that doesn't take that much encouragement.
No, it doesn't. He looked at us, and it was kind of he acted like we were asking him to you know, I don't even know what. It was the hardest thing he ever had to do, but we didn't have to pull his arm too much. But right. So then Jack walks up. I was like, oh yeah, this will be a fun interview. But we got to talk to, you know, Bryson Shotgun Lambert as well. It was just kind of it was a fun experience.
Well, it was a good night, and I was grateful and appreciative of Miss Cox. She took the opportunity as well to, you know, use the platform to encourage people to gather around the square.
We had to maybe poke her a little bit to get on there, but
yeah,
she did.
Nonetheless, and I didn't get a chance to tell her yesterday that I appreciated her doing that, but But she was conversational and she shared, but also she was able to kind of rally the community and say, let's line up on the square and welcome the team home, because they have to go around the square. They don't have to, but natural route is to come in 54 to the square before heading on out to the high school. I guess they could cut across Ray Pretty Road, but made for a really nice little arrival at home. I saw that the team and the cheerleaders both leaned out the bus windows, as they went around and before making the trip down. So that sets the stage for this week's third region tournament. And I guess instead of a 4-leaf clover, maybe just a 3-leaf clover, because only one team drew Owensboro Catholic when it could have been two.
This is very true.
So we get the Fighting Dennis Cooks tonight.
Yeah, and Ted Hill, too. It's the Ted Hill Bowl. Former Lady Cougar coach Ted Hill is the head coach at Ohio County now, so that game will happen tonight for the Lady Cougars, which is, and Ted would say the same thing for them, it's the best possible draw for both sides. It should be a very competitive game. I don't really know which way it'll go. When they played back in December, Lady Cougars were up big, and Ohio County came back, and my memory's right, they might have even taken a late lead, but Grayson County ended up winning the game late in that one. So it should be a great game. If you're wanting to watch that game tonight, remember, you shall not stream for free at the world-famous Owensboro Sports Center. So that game is now available on our website. So if you go to k105.com/region, you'll be able to have the opportunity to purchase the $7.99 stream for that. For tonight's broadcast. That'll be the same thing for Thursday, but if you're wanting Thursday's game, do not buy tonight's game because you want to cheer on the Lady Cougars, but the purchase for tonight's game will not give you Thursday's game. It'll be a separate cost.
Think of it like if you were going in the front door of the game. If you were going to both games, you'd have to pay twice, and it's the same thing. And again, I would like to remind anyone who's been under a rock for the last week, not a decision we made.
Nope.
And we get $2 for the hassle. We get to pay all the fees, and we get $2 out of the $7.99.
Something like that.
Ooh,
yeah.
Well,
No.
let's say, hey, we need to rework our budgets. We might be able to make some capital expenditures here after the end of the basketball season.
And then the boys you mentioned, they play Owensboro Catholic on Thursday. That'll be at 7:45. So they get to host school. Sorry. Oh wait. Sorry.
Remind me, Sam,
sorry. I'm not allowed to say that.
Where does Owensboro Catholic play their home games?
It was interesting that Steven, I guess, was looking to purchase tickets for Heather, and he sent me a screenshot from the Owensboro Sports Center website, and it says, our host schools are, and it has a logo of Kentucky Wesleyan and Owensboro Catholic. And I was like, really? So the Sports Center references it that way. But I did see a couple other people saying, oh, you're just going to make all the Owensboro people mad on Thursday. I was like, I'm not going to make them mad if I just say facts.
If you speak truth, if they get mad, it's on them. And we do know they do kind of easily get their toes stepped on sometimes when they hear the truth.
Well, last year I know I ruffled some feathers, including I know one outlet made a comment saying that the Owensboro Catholic fans were forced to watch our broadcast since we were the only stream. So which I didn't know that we sent crew members to their homes and we're holding them at gunpoint to watch our game.
Is that why we purchased? Is that why we purchased all those water pistols that look like real guns to force?
Yeah, we're gonna send Eli Smith. Eli Smith. We're just gonna send him knocking on random doors in Owensboro tonight, making sure that they're watching our. Or I guess we got to send him to Hartford. Or I guess we got Trey Cook still. He's a former crew member. Maybe we'll make him do that in Ohio County tonight.
The Cats lost to Auburn on Saturday in Rupp Arena, 94-78. Did you feel a little bit? I was not. I hated to be too mean about ESPN and their coverage ending because we've been in that situation before. When you expect, though, it's ESPN, you think, well, you would think they have some redundancies because they maybe are operating at a different level than others. But did you feel a little bit of empathy for them?
I was there, so it didn't impact me at all.
Care?
Yeah.
Are you the one that unplugged the truck?
Well, apparently, did you see what actually happened? Is that their generator caught on fire.
Ooh, okay. I think that's not supposed to happen.
Yeah, but because my dad was getting text messages from people and so on, and we both just said, "You're not missing anything."
Nah, I think when the coverage ended, you pretty much knew what was likely to happen, and Jackson Robin finished for the season as well. We learned that. We'll save. I do want to have the Pete Rose conversation. It's in the news today. It's not a banner headline, but we can save that one for about any day because, I don't think it's anything urgent in that regard. We've got plenty of other stuff to talk about. Got to get to a break. We'll come back. Got more on the way. Hang around here on In the Know.
At Owensboro Health Family Medicine in Litchfield, Dr. Priyank Chauhan provides compassionate care for adults and seniors. Board certified in internal and geriatric medicine, he's dedicated to managing chronic conditions, preserving independence, and enhancing the quality of life. Proudly serving Grayson County because your health matters. Schedule today. Call Owensboro Health Family Medicine in Litchfield at 270-259-8888.
The mobile unit from Intensive Health brings trusted, high-quality addiction treatment right to your community. Serving 5 counties, including Grayson, our innovative services offer telehealth treatment, mental health counseling, medical health assessments, primary care, and general medical services. We also offer hepatitis C and HIV screenings and treatment. No more long travels for essential care. We are discreet and accessible. Visit intensivehealth.com to find out more. A StepWorks recovery service.
Kids across America are going to school hungry. Millions of kids every day. But one simple thing can help change all of this for a hungry child in America. Good healthy food and the energy it brings. With help from caring people across America, No Kid Hungry is providing healthy meals and hope to hungry kids so they can build better futures. To learn more about ending child hunger in America, go to helpnokidhungry.org today.
Yellowwood knows that a 5-star backyard is the place to make lasting memories. Like cookouts. Cornhole with friends. Ooh, a neighborhood potluck with your wife's pasta salad. The one with the feta. Oh, sorry. Or taking a nap on your deck in a hammock. Naps are memories. I love naps. For 5-star backyards and the most memorable experiences, Yellowwood brand pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't have that yellow tag, you don't want it.
If you're the average person, you only think about income taxes from January to April. But the choices you make 12 months a year have a big impact on your tax return preparation and even your refund. Making adjustments to your financial matters during tax filing season is like trying to lose weight during a routine doctor visit. The certified public accounting firm of Buckles, Travis & Hart work year-round to advise clients on important financial decisions so that during tax filing season, you're carrying a lot less stress and worry. Join the Peace of Mind team with Buckles, Travis & Hart. 270-259-5604 or GraysonCPAs.com.
Thinking about furthering your education? At Elizabethtown Community and Technical College, you'll get a high-quality education close to home at a cost that won't break the bank. Enjoy small class sizes with professors who take a personal interest in your success. Scholarships are still available, making our low tuition even more affordable. ECTC's Litchfield campus is now enrolling for classes that start March 17th. Visit elizabethtown.kctcs.edu to get started. ECTC, College for the Real World.
President Trump is urging Apple to drop its diversity, equity, and inclusion programs after shareholders voted overwhelmingly to keep them in place. Tammy Trujillo has details.
Trump posted on Truth Social Wednesday that DEI programs were a hoax that have been very bad for the country. The company shareholders thought otherwise Tuesday, opposing efforts by conservatives to get rid of the program. The Trump administration has targeted similar programs, accusing them of being discriminatory. Several major companies, including Target, Google, Amazon, Bank of America, and Meta, have already moved to drop DEI efforts.
Google is launching a free code assistant through Gemini. The AI-powered service is for individual developers who use platforms like GitHub. While it integrates with GitHub, Gemini Free Code provides 90 times the monthly code completions. And Supermicro Computer has received notification from NASDAQ that it's now in compliance. The AI storage and IT solution company completed the timely filing of reports to the SEC, and the matter is now closed. Tech Report, I'm Mark Mayfield.
Today is American National Anthem Day. President Hoover signed it into law as our national anthem this date in 1931, that being the Star Spangled Banner. Congress passed it. President Hoover signed it. It's Cold Cuts Day. Love some cold cuts. Like had for lunch yesterday, I had a turkey and ham sandwich. Got a little roast beef that I enjoy. It's also Canadian Bacon Day, but you know, we've been into it with Canada recently after they booed our national anthem and all that. So it's just ham. I don't know why we give them the benefit of calling it Canadian bacon. For goodness sakes, it's just ham. They call it back bacon, is what they call it.
Whatever it is, it's good.
Right.
It is good. I'll take extra. And it's Talking Third Person Day.
Oh.
One of my favorite, George Costanza.
Do,
when he
do you mean one of Mark's favorites?
One of Mark's favorites is George Costanza, especially his outgoing. When he sings on his outgoing message, he does the Greatest American Hero theme. Believe it or not, George isn't at home. He goes through the whole thing. So talk in third person today, unless you're around me, and then it's not allowed. Got a little bad news. It was a good run, but Skype is dead. Remember Skype?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, was the little Texas song What Might Have Been? If Skype had just been born just a few years later, like, what Skype needed was a good pandemic. You know, because Skype could have easily morphed into what Zoom was. And Zoom was the beneficiary of just some really good luck.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Zoom would have struggled because eventually Teams and Meet and some of the others would have just swallowed up and taken over, and you wouldn't even know Zoom. But they were in the right place at the right time when the world stopped and said, you still want to have business meetings? You still want to have any type of meeting? You still want to perform? You still want to, let's Zoom. But as a result, the COVID era helped finally close the door on Skype, which was struggling because of FaceTime and any other screen-to-screen service. But it was age 22 and goes on in. Good old Skype. Microsoft owns it, by the way. And they just finally just closed the door. Said you've got Teams. If you need something like this, you can use Teams. A lot of companies do that. I'm surprised somebody hasn't bought Zoom, but it got too big too quick, where it really couldn't be taken over. I have a feeling when I was a kid, we didn't have Skype. You know, we had a 20-foot curly phone cord that frayed, and you took the receiver down the hall into your room, but then when you moved the receiver, it made this noise because you had stressed the cord out so much it would say, you know that sound?
Oh, I'm well aware.
What would it say? Oh, interesting.
That's what it sounded like when you were trying to carry on a conversation. But
You mean
were my
people
parents,
actually would have conversations?
They would, believe it or not. They would actually have they would
Believe
talk.
it or not.
You couldn't send a text message?
They would, yeah. The text message you sent went like this.
Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep.
That's your text message. But then my parents, it was not quite like this, but I do like to joke. My parents' generation, they had to go basically stand at the phone. And they had to crank on the side and say, Sarah, get me Wally down at the filling station. No, it wasn't quite that bad. They were sort of in between the rotary phone and certainly the touch tone phone. But it reminds me of, I was thinking about just being a kid and the ashtrays that were in cars in every door. In the rear passenger door, there was a little flip out thing. If you got on an airplane, there was an ashtray in the armrest that was there. It always smelled. Restaurants had smoking sections that it didn't work. It was not like a magical force field that kept it out, but we just did it a lot differently then. And so I was thinking about things that kids that are baby boomers that when they were kids, things that were in everyone's home that are no longer in people's homes. The penny candies in a glass jar. Like if you went in the door at my grandparents' house, immediately to the right of the door was one big glass jar of just little hard candy. And there might have been 2, depending upon the season.
Miss those.
Or just
Right.
my grandma would always have M&Ms too in there.
Ooh, that's kind of uptown.
Get it.
We were doing like butterscotch, and then later, my granddad was a Werther's guy, and so
Or the strawberry candy.
it was the Werther's. Those little strawberry candies are a little too modern. That's a little too my era. I mean, you're
My
talking
great
about.
grandmothers, they were not individually wrapped, so they were always stuck together. Yeah.
The cinnamon, I could not stand the cinnamon candies that were wrapped in the red paper, the red shiny paper. You'd get one of those. and
What,
you
like a
go,
Red Hot?
"No, I can't out. Yeah,
I kinda like
it's a lot like a Red Hot, and it was similar in that regard.
Oh, see, I probably would like those. I always like cinnamon.
Now we have one. We have one. We almost had 2, but it just shows you the nostalgia of it. There, in many homes, there were typewriters, right? And we just have one, right?
We have 2.
We do have 2. We have one on display.
Correct.
We don't have 2 on display, do we? Because I haven't seen the second one.
No, it's not on display.
Okay, all right, very good. The floor model television. Sam, have you seen a floor model TV?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, good. Was it at your grandparents'?
No.
I had one in my home when I was young.
Back last winter? No, maybe it was in the fall. I can't remember. I was helping my dad haul off a TV.
Oh, this thing's way.
Oh my goodness! Like we got it outside, had to throw it on the back of a side by side, then haul it around, then drive it up on a trailer, and then haul it off to the dump. But it was and then we laughed about what it actually cost. Like when they bought it, it was the cost of a car basically. It was unbelievable.
Oh, and now you could buy. I mean, you can buy a ton of TVs now.
I mean, you wait till Black Friday. They'll give away like 55-inch TVs for $79. Now, they're pieces of garbage, but it's still a 55-inch TV. Floppy disks, especially the 5 1/4 inch. I mean, the 3 1/2s are.
You know, I keep mine.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah.
But you don't. Do you have anything that you can read them on? No.
No, it's just the fact that I'm old enough to, because I kind of miss that a little bit.
Right.
But the fact that I was able to use that at one point, because I was on the very tail end,
Yeah.
and then rolling into the smaller.
Yeah, my first
so,
computer, that compact that we were doing spreadsheeting on, it was 5 1/4.
Yeah.
And so that was all that we had at the time. Sam, let me backtrack a little bit. Have you ever seen a TV with rabbit ears?
A good set of rabbit ears still. You can.
I mean, I don't know that I've ever in movies and so on. I don't know if in person we ever. I'm trying to think.
We lived so far from a TV station that rabbit ears wouldn't do it. We had to have the tower with the antenna on it with the rotor.
See, when I moved to this area, that was one of the things that I was looking into could I, because I mean, you can still get them. It just doesn't look like obviously rabbit ears now. And after my researches, I found that we're just far enough from Bowling Green and just far enough from Louisville that I'd have to have the tower.
Yep.
And then I was just like, well, it's not worth that.
I mean, we are in the BFE of the DMA in Louisville. I mean, we really almost we almost shouldn't even be in the Louisville DMA, but we are.
I concur.
Paper maps. Used to be paper maps everywhere.
Yes.
Racks of paper maps.
I'm a big fan of a paper map.
I love paper maps. They're a little hard to fold, but I like them.
Yes.
Tang. Now, everybody had Tang
Yes.
back in the day.
They do.
And even in my childhood, there was still Tang.
So, obviously, this is showing my age. What even was Tang? I always have heard it, but I don't know that I could actually tell you what it was.
It's a drink mix.
Yeah.
So is it like Kool-Aid?
It's more like orange juice in that it has.
So like Sunny D?
Yeah, there you go.
But it starts with powder, and
Yes.
it's fortified with vitamins and minerals and things that you need.
So it's healthy.
Yes. Well, it's healthy-ish. It's what kept the astronauts alive, Sam. I mean, come to find out.
It will also clean your toilet bowl.
And clean out your stomach.
There you go.
It first hit stores in
I'm not making that up.
1957. It was considered a great source of calcium, had 100% of the daily value of vitamins. But by the 90s and 2000s, Tang declined rapidly. Kids shifted to other brands and nutritional drinks. Number 5, waterbeds.
Oh,
Remember, everybody had a waterbed.
listen, I loved my waterbed. Oh,
The waterbeds were good so long as you were sleeping single.
I agree.
But I had friends. My friend Clifton had there would be like 4 of us trying to crash on this big waterbed, and if anybody moved, everybody moved, and it was awful.
I always ended up in the crack. So
Yeah.
So my friend would come over, Mandy, and because it was at my dad's house. And so she was the one who always did sleepovers there. And she was smaller than me, but it never failed. I was wedged between the crack, like the waterbed itself and that hard wooden rail.
Yep.
Dude.
Were those even
console
comfortable?
stereos. No.
I loved mine.
They were, but you had to be still. I mean, it just, and then they made them, they basically were an aquarium, you know, there's the wood shell, and then they just threw a water ballast in there and said, there's your bed. They did get a little better. Some of them have ended up having the sides of a traditional mattress where they were a little squishy on the side where you could sit on it and not feel like you were like sitting on the edge of a beam. They
Parents had one of those.
got a little different, but they still were.
You should ask Aunt Debbie sometime about the argument that she and I got into over the waterbed.
Okay.
It's a doozy.
Sam, we talked about console TVs with rabbit ears. Have you seen the console stereos? They had the turntable built in. They were pieces
I've seen
of
those.
furniture.
Yeah.
They were designed to make your home look nice. You could even put some Shamrock Punch. No, you could put some Grinch Punch, a bowl of Grinch Punch on it if you wanted to, and you look very festive at Christmas time. There were metal lunch boxes. I've got a metal lunchbox in my office
you do.
on the on my shelves, and then ashtrays. Everybody had ashtrays in their home, whether you smoked or not.
That's
but I
right.
mean, most people smoked. Even babies smoked
Babies
then,
smoked,
but
yeah.
ashtrays. Now you don't ever hardly see them at all. But all things that you don't find hardly much anymore. We got to get to a break. We'll come back. Today's Did You Know? Coming up here on In the Know.
They are our cuddlers and coworkers, purr machines and love bugs, and constant companions. They are our pets, our family, and they make life so much better. When we face unexpected challenges in life, so do our pets. That's why we're on a mission to support people who love their pets, and the pets who love their people, ensuring these families stay exactly where they belong, together. And you have something to offer. With an open heart and mind, there is nothing you can't do. There's no gesture too small or too big when it comes to helping. Whether donating a bag of kibble, sharing an Instagram post of a lost cat, or welcoming a foster pet into your home, every bit of kindness counts. You can help keep pets and people together. Visit petsandpeopletogether.org to learn how to be a helper in your community. This has been a public service announcement brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Every child deserves to feel safe, heard, and loved. Right now, there are children in our community facing tough times, and they need someone to stand by their side. That someone could be you.
My name is Misty, and I'm the 4-H Extension Agent from LaRue County, and I'm a proud CASA volunteer.
My name is Debbie Childress, and I'm the Executive Director of the Grayson County Alliance, and I'm a proud CASA volunteer.
My name is Kitty Smith. I'm a proud CASA volunteer from Meade County. You can be a CASA too.
It only takes a few hours a month to make a lasting impact. Your voice can help a child find hope and stability during the most difficult moments. Visit CASAHeartland.org or call us today to learn more. Help us build brighter futures, one child at a time.
Hey, you got any gum?
Yeah, check my backpack.
What's this?
Oh, that's naloxone. It can reverse an opioid overdose. I decided to always keep it on me after my friend almost died. It saved his life.
Oh, wow. I'm so sorry. That makes me want to have it with me, too.
You totally should. Check the pharmacy. It was actually really easy to get, and it's easy to use.
I definitely will. Thanks.
Naloxone saves lives. Learn more at cdc.gov/stopoverdose.
K105 weather from the Wave Storm Tracking Team is brought to you by Smith Overhead Door, SOHD.info.
Twin Lakes weather. We'll see quite a bit of sunshine for today with highs in the 50s. For tomorrow, mostly cloudy skies, windy across the area, highs in the 60s, and we'll see stronger wind gusts and more rain moving into the region Tuesday night into early Wednesday morning. We'll see temperatures falling throughout the day on Wednesday. From the Wave News Storm Tracking Team, I'm meteorologist Oana Andrew.
Hi, this is Gina Leslie with Tom Baxter Real Estate, and I'm in the know. Call me after the show at 217-721-0034 and let me sell the home you've outgrown or find the home of your dreams. Now back to In the Know on K105.
Did you know, when I was a kid, the gritty wasn't a dance. It's what you got up at the bottom of the Tang glass.
That's what you got under your fingernails.
Well, that's you know, those are spelled two different ways.
They are? Oh.
Yeah, gritty is with a D. The dance is with a D.
Not in my book. Not in my life. It's all two T's.
I don't even know what's happening.
Tang was a little gritty. Did you know that's what the astronauts that have been stuck at the space station for 8 months, that's what they're surviving on? All they had to live on was Tang. Okay, I might have made that part up.
I didn't make it up about the toilet bowl.
Show historian Kathy Riggs has Tang in her cabinet right this very instant. So, if anybody
Really?
yeah,
Can
they're going to have a Tang stand set up out roadside later today, 50 cents a glass.
Love it.
Can you still buy it?
Yeah, honey, you can still buy it.
I hope it's not. She's preserving it. I hope it's not something.
I didn't know if it was like a nostalgic thing that it's
I'm gonna
just.
get you some, Sam.
I don't know
we'll
that
have
I-
some drop ship to Sam.
Oh yeah,
he's not.
I'm seeing you tomorrow. I have a T-shirt for you. I don't think I can get you any Tang in time.
He's
now.
not taking his.
I'm looking here. Oh, I found some that for $3.84 on Amazon, and it's free delivery by tomorrow.
There you go.
You can have all the vitamins you need by tomorrow if you just press the old buy now. The weekend box office. Captain America won the Oscars weekend. Last Breath at 2, The Monkey at 3, Paddington in Peru at 4, Dogman at 5. You heard part of a medley that was performed by Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo at the Oscars last night. They took obviously Somewhere Over the Rainbow from Wizard of Oz. Then this is from The Wiz. So they took the various inspirations that are in the universe, and then they did Defying Gravity, of course. Wicked did win last night Best Production Design, also won Best Costume Design, but in the big categories, Best Picture went to Anora. I have no idea what it is.
I don't know that I've ever even heard of that.
No, I didn't. It wasn't on the list, and I thought I had read the full list, but it was just one that I just kind of skipped over, apparently. Sean Baker for Anora got Best Director. Adrian Brody from The Brutalist won. Mickey Madison from Anora won Best Actress. Kieran Culkin won Best Supporting Actor for A Real Pain. Zoe Saldana won Best Supporting Actress. Best International Feature, I'm Still Here. So Oscars night. Conan O'Brien was the host. He did he had some pretty good one-liners. You know, you kind of have to do a song and dance number if you're part of that show, and the opening number was pretty good. And then he's pretty good at self-deprecating, and he said, he was reading off the names for Best Picture, the nominees. He says, A Complete Unknown, A Real Pain, Nosferatu. These are just some of the names I was called on the red carpet. So he said, we do not use AI to make this show. We would never do that. We use child labor.
Worst do you?
Couple others that he,
I mean, the line about with Kendrick Lamar and Drake was pretty decent.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
So he said he got up there about halfway through the show, and he says, well, now that we're halfway through the show, is this where we're supposed to bring Kendrick Lamar out to call Drake a pedophile?
Halftime. Got it. The timing is right. Poor Diane Warren. She made history. Her 16th Oscar loss without ever winning. She'd been nominated 16 times, so always a bridesmaid, never a bride. So she was nominated again this year for something in Amelia Perez. The Journey, I think, is what it was called, the song. But she did not win. And we are learning. Oh yeah, I saw this morning just before the show started that Gene Hackman's Pacemakers' last recorded event was February 17. So you think just last week we were in the mid to high 20s when we found out that he had died. And I don't know for certain that he died on the 17th, but you would have to think there's a possibility that it was somehow connected to that, or that was somehow part of the timing. And then we learned over the weekend. Now, I'm too young to remember the group, the New York Dolls, except for I know them just from pop culture. But the lead singer of the New York Dolls, I better know, and you better know, as Buster Poindexter. But his real name is David Johansen. He has gone on in at age 75.
Okay, I wouldn't have known that this is who this was, but now I know.
Yeah, you cannot not know this song. If you've ever been to a wedding reception, you've heard it. If you've ever been to the Caribbean, right?
Senor Frog.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You
exactly.
can't go anywhere in the Caribbean. Conga line. And usually it plays, within 2 or 3 songs of the Electric Slide.
I don't think I ever heard that at Senor Frog.
We got to get to a break. We'll come back. Finish it up for the morning here on In the Know.
Most toddlers have one thing in common. They want their own way. And we've all seen the throw yourself on the floor tantrums they'll use to get what they want. So parents, when the kicking and the screaming starts, do you know what to do? Here are a few helpful suggestions. Most importantly, when your child demands his own way, don't give in. If you do, he'll learn that his tantrums actually work, and he'll more likely throw a fit the next time he wants something. You're training him to do it. Step out of a restaurant if you have to, or leave a shopping cart behind, but deal with the tantrum swiftly. Teach him that you're the boss, not him. The next thing is to make sure the discipline fits the behavior. Young children are concrete thinkers. They're black and white, so consequences should connect to their disobedience. If your child sneaks a treat, don't let him have dessert after dinner. Or if he's selfish with a toy, take it away until he's willing to play nicely. And whenever possible, allow natural consequences to be the teacher. I remember a cold winter's day some years ago when one of my boys insisted on wearing his favorite pair of shorts. Before we even got to the car, he knew he'd made a mistake and never did it again. Combine these ideas with a good dose of consistency, and your toddler's behavior should eventually improve. To help your parenting thrive, go to FocusOnTheFamily.com. I'm Jim Daly.
The words you are about to hear are taken from letters sent in by members of the Trinity Debt Management Program.
Dear Trinity, today I'm making my final credit card payment.
Before I came to you, I was in a constant state of anxiety and panic, but now there is hope for my family's financial future.
Working with Trinity made me understand that I'm not alone.
You really do help people.
Your kindness will never be forgotten. Without Trinity's support, I would not have achieved my lifelong goal of becoming debt-free.
We saved a lot on interest and penalties, of course, but the reward was the gift of human kindness.
Trinity has carried me through a very difficult time in my life. You're amazing.
I used to feel so anxious and hopeless. Now I feel grace and peace.
God bless Trinity as you continue to help others become debt-free.
If credit card debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976. That's 1-800-990-6976.
Some places are just where you eat. Others are where you belong. Now it's time to celebrate 1 year of Hometown Hangout. Join us Tuesday from 1 to 3 for free appetizers and prizes. It's your chance to enjoy the spot everyone loves before, during, or after the game. Great food, friends, and fun await. Don't miss this opportunity to be part of the place that feels like home. Join the celebration only at Hometown Hangout on West White Oak in Litchfield, Tuesday from 1 to 3.
MB's point to ponder for today. What day of the week do people whine the most? What day of the week do people whine the most?
You're on it right now.
I think it's got to be today.
It's got to be Monday.
That sounds like the easy answer, though. Right?
Yeah, but who's whining on a Friday?
I'm thinking maybe Thursday.
No. Thursday, a lot of optimism burgeoning on Thursday.
I don't know. I mean, I agree with Monday.
But isn't Thursday the day that we might whine the most because that's usually our technology failure day, right? Traditionally.
Yeah, it's.
Please don't do that.
I don't know. Since we relocated, we repositioned everything. I don't find that to be.
Yeah, I hope we don't have that either. I don't need any technology problems this Thursday.
No, not at all. So I Googled it. 34 minutes on a Monday morning is the average person complains for about 34 minutes on a Monday morning compared to 22 minutes on other days.
Leanne says Wednesday.
Wednesday. Oh, wah. Well, it's because it's wah Wednesday. Wah. Ambulance.
I don't know.
I don't know if that could be. Maybe there's something specific going on with Leanne that prompts her to be more whiny on Wednesday. I don't know the answer. I'm just speculating. On TV tonight, Sam, I had someone present to me, Donna at Midway Pharmacy, actually. She asked me on Saturday. She said she was inquiring about the ball game tonight, and and I said, unfortunately, we don't believe that it's going to be so easy that you'll be able to watch it on your big TV, like on your smart TV. And she said, can't you cast it? And I was like, well, I guess you might actually be able to do that from your Apple device. If you're watching, I suppose you might be able to throw it up on your big screen. Have you heard anybody?
So you should be able to screen mirror that way. So our software is developing a button to where you can hit the button and do it. But that button, I don't believe is like it. It's kind of funny. It's supposed to come out any day. And we kind of sent them a message like, can you like,
Could it be this day?
yeah, can you get it going a little bit quicker?
That any day could have been yesterday. That would have
That yeah, or that any day could be, March the 31st. Like we have no idea of knowing as to when. But I hope. But with that though, remember this is not on YouTube, but we will upload it to our YouTube channel at some point. I mean, and when I mean at some point by this time tomorrow, it will be up on our YouTube channel. It'll probably just depend on staff. Yeah, I would imagine that we'd at least. Or do you? I don't know if we want to stream it as if it were live, or if we want to just upload it, or.
I'll just out him because he can blame it on his dad. I talked to the Nutty Professor's dad yesterday, who told me that they had been with the Nutty Professor last week, and my aunt and uncle hadn't realized what is Cougar Sports on the big 7-foot television that the Nutty Professor has. Well, they were just enamored. Hub said it was better than ESPN. Well, on Saturday, it certainly was.
Yeah, we knock on wood did not have our generator go out.
Right. Well, they're from an analog radio era, right? And Mary Lynn, she's been known to wear a radio Walkman like in church. So I don't think I'm outing her on that. I think everybody knows that. But I'm just dishing all the secrets here, aren't I? Anyway, Hub says that the Nutty Professor has dug in, that he's not going to pay to watch. Like, that's where he's drawn the line. That's his protest. To which I thought, okay, we get to the finals. I'm going to go with he caves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we get to the semifinals. I think he caves. I think there's a chance
7:45 rolls around on Thursday. He's going to cave.
Think about the quarterfinals tonight. I think he might test drive it tonight just so he's ready for Thursday.
Uh-huh.
That's what I think. There's a good chance of it.
It's well, I did want to give the Nutty Professor a shout out that I made a joke during the broadcast on Tuesday, and Steven didn't appreciate my joke, but he appreciated it. So I thank him for making a U.S. history joke. He at least got my joke and appreciated it.
Not everybody gets cerebral humor, especially graduates like Stephen Smith.
I mean, you know what they?
Be careful. The Voice, The Blind Auditions, Part 5. The Bachelor is on ABC.
I mean, there's a reason he's a banker, right?
CBS.
He's a math guy, not a history guy.
On CBS, NCIS. Today's highlight in history, this date, 1991, motorist Rodney King was severely beaten by the LAPD. Birthdays today, Jennifer Warnes is 78, Ron Chernow is 76. He's to blame for all the Hamilton to-do, because he's the one that wrote the book that Lin-Manuel Miranda read on vacation in the Caribbean that led him to create Hamilton the musical. Jackie Joyner Kersey is 63, Tone Loc is 59, Loked After Dark. Let's do it. Julie Bowen is 55, David Faustino is 51, Jessica Biel is 43, Camilla Cabello is 28, Jason Tatum, 27 today, Gone But Not Forgotten. George Pullman, railroad car dude, 1831. A. Graham Bell in 1847. Jean Harlow in 1911. Ann B. Davis was born in 1926. She was the housekeeper on the Brady Bunch. Oh, no. The Jolly Green Giant, the Kingsman, #1 in 1965. I always disliked that song. Let's go to 1974. Terry Jacks, Seasons in the Sun. All right, let's go to the 80s. Let's go to I think this is going to be 83. It is 83. BS and the SBB, Shame on the Moon. All right, and we'll do Michael Jackson and Remember the Time, #1 in 92. Aerosmith, Jaded, #1 in 01. Love that song. We Are the World, 25. Artist for Haiti in 2010. And Halsey, Without Me, #1 6 years ago today. All right, MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. The will to succeed is important, but what's more important is the will to prepare. The will to succeed is important, but what's more important is the will to prepare. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. Remember, God loves you, and I do too. If you don't know Jesus, let me know, and I'll introduce you. Look forward to seeing you back here next time for another edition of our show. For Sam Gormley, for Beej, I'm MB, and now you're in the know.
The Twin Lakes Best Mix is WKHG Litchfield. The Twin